Nobody likes a liar. You know the type. They tell you something that makes absolutely no sense, and as you question them about the inconsistencies, the story seems to shift and morph into something larger than life. Speaking of bad liars, this is 47-year-old Mollie Williams Franklin. She has been accused of a pretty scandalous crime. Her ex-boyfriend, 30-year-old Richard Garza, he's been gunned down in an empty parking lot next to a park. Garza is found slumped over his steering wheel, and he's been shot several times. The case goes cold for several months, but the detectives are given a stroke of luck. Someone in the park turns in a gun. That gun is traced back to Mollie. Because there is an unsolved murder from a few months back, the gun is tested against the evidence collected in the Garza case. And well, wouldn't you know, the ballistics matched. So the police decide it's time for a long overdue talk with Mollie. Oh, they've been trying to get an interview with her for months, considering her intimate connection to the victim. But she has been avoiding the police, constantly changing locations. With the new evidence at hand, the detectives stop fooling around, and they finally corner her.
Just have a seat right there next to her. I'm gonna get you some water, okay? Okay. And these rooms are recorded. I'm just gonna go ahead and point it out to you. There's one in this little thing, looks like a motion detector up here. There's another one up here, okay? And then there's one right here, okay? I don't want to think I'm pulling tricks on you.
So the interview begins with the continuation to an off-camera discussion about Mollie's gun. She claims that she was not in possession of her gun during the time frame in which the shooting occurred.
It was
Confirm that?
Us.
Okay.
How did he know you had the gun in the car?
Because it was right there. I mean, he's seen it.
I'm trying to get my tech down here to get you out here, okay? When I talked to Jordan, he really seemed to care about Richard.
We all did.
And he really seemed to care, and he was really shooken up when I showed him a picture of Richard, and we discussed it for some time. And because of course your boys' names came up, that they wanted to do something to him. Your name came up several times in the investigation that you wanted to do something to him.
For what though?
Like, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't fully investigate the whole deal. You know what I mean?
Well, can you tell me, like, what was the reason?
For you? I think it was just y'all's past, the DV past.
What about it?
That supposedly you were, at one time the information I got was you were the aggressor in all the cases. Until I read the reports, until I talk to you face to face, I can't say I fully ruled you out, okay, as a suspect. You understand that? Until I gather all the evidence. And the evidence will lead us the right way. That's what I tell people all the time. The evidence will always lead us to who did what, So my thing now is I'm going to corroborate your story that you were in Lubbock at the time. Were you using that 400 number in December when he was killed?
Mollie claims that she was not in Amarillo at the time of the murders, but that she was in Lubbock. The detective is now going to question that alibi.
Before my phone got broke, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said you got rid of that phone?
It just, I threw it in Lubbock at a, Little Caesars. I was eating there, and the thing was just like all cracked up. Like, okay. I mean, the glass was coming out of it.
Oh, okay. Do you remember when that was?
I don't.
Mollie says that she got rid of her phone on the day in question because it had a badly cracked screen. She probably thinks that the phone not being present will protect her from the police knowing where she was that day. It won't.
Let me ask you this, curiosity. Why did you take a gun up to the bar and have it in your car?
Because I was like I would go like from Lubbock to here, you know, to like visit my kids and stuff, and I don't have anybody. It's just me, you know, and I'm scared all the time. Like, I mean, I'm a girl, you know, and I don't mess with guns. Like, anybody can tell you that. Like, I'm super scared of them. I mean, I don't know nothing about them. I don't know anything about them.
So why did you buy one?
Because I was scared to be by myself, you know, just, it's for protection. Just.
Were you scared of Richard?
No. Never scared of him.
If the police can prove that Mollie shot Richard, this statement might come back to harm her case. She claims that she's not afraid of Richard, nor has she ever been. A future claim of self-defense or a claim that she is a victim of a long-term abusive relationship, that might be difficult to prove now.
I mean, even whenever, like, he did the whole domestic violence thing, I wasn't scared of him, like, after that. Like, he made me nervous, but not, like, scared. You know? Like, he stopped doing crazy stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess probation will make you do that, right?
Yeah. Kind of get your head on straight a little bit, but evidently it didn't stop him. He was still out selling cocaine. Do you know if him and Angel had any problems with anybody that would cause this, that would want to kill him?
Yeah.
Okay. Who was that? You know?
I'm afraid to tell you.
I need to know, dear. You understand that I'm coming to you for a reason? You understand that, right? But I need you to tell me. Can we close the door?
Maybe that's why, like, I haven't said.
But you know I was looking for you. Honest. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
I didn't. I mean, like,
Jordan knows that we talked about it.
I didn't. I was just like, I haven't been with him like in 3 months, you know, and I just found out by like his little brother that he had like messed around with all these girls, you know. So I mean, he told me whenever I went over there to see them, and I mean, I don't know. I don't want to hear some of this stuff, you know. Like I told him, I'm like, I don't want to hear that stuff, you know. I just came to see y'all, but his name's Mark Zamora. And
how do you know Mark killed him?
No, I don't know.
No, I mean, have you heard that? Why would you suspect Mark?
Because he was supposed to like see him. Richard was.
Is that who he was meeting that morning?
Like,
how did you know he was meeting him?
He told me, he said that, am I gonna be safe?
This is gonna stay right here, okay? Does anybody else threaten you?
I don't know.
So he was supposed to meet Mark in the morning. That morning, right?
And he told me, he said that, I need to be completely honest with you.
I need you to be completely honest with me. And I need it now. Okay?
Yes.
Let's don't tell a bunch of stories. Let's just be truthful. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I did see him that morning, and we had sex. And we were parked, like, there was like 3 cars parked, and
Did y'all meet at the park?
yeah, and
What time did y'all meet there?
about 7:45,
What were you driving?
the Trailblazer.
Okay.
So, Mollie has changed her story. She is now admitting to seeing her ex-boyfriend on the very day he was killed. Not only is she admitting that she saw him on that day, but that she saw him at the very park that his body was found. Now, the only question is, can the detective get her to finish this story and give him a confession about what happened to Richard?
And here's the deal too. This is where the point is where you need to be completely honest with me and not hold anything back. Okay?
I am.
You got to tell me everything, okay?
Yes.
And because here's the deal. If I'm asking questions, I know a lot of stuff. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Silver Trailblazer. So you guys met up at 7:45.
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all have sex in that car?
In mine.
You had sex in your car?
Yes.
Then what happened? Are you coming in?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks. So, y'all had sex in the car, and tell me what happened after that.
Like, we were talking, and whenever I was going over there, he was standing out of a copper car, like the color copper. That's it. All.
So you say when you pulled up, he was standing outside of a car?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like there was 3 cars, and then like he parked at the end, and then like he was standing outside of there, and then I like pulled on the other side of him, and I got out and I hugged him, and
Mollie is now going to introduce a theory in an attempt to throw the detectives off of her and onto, well, somebody.
And then I told him I had asked him what he was doing. He's like, that's it, I just came from Angel and Mark's homeboy's house. And I'm like, why? And he's like, because they're supposed to bring me some shit. And I'm like, why are you still doing that? Like, why don't you stop? You're going to get into some shit you can't handle.
Right.
And then he's like, I can handle it. I'll be okay. That's what he told me. He was going to be okay. And I'm like, I told him, I said, you're getting in too deep. Like, you're getting in deep, you know? I mean, like, he had like rings on and stuff, and like a necklace, and he was just like, I don't know, he's just not the same, you know? He was just like, kind of, like, I guess kind of, show off, kind of,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just like telling me that, like, that was his car and everything, and I was like, okay. And then like we got into my car, and then I drove. There's like I guess like another drive, like not right there by the water, but like over here, like before you turn, you know, there's like another parking spot right there.
Okay.
So like we went over there and we had sex.
Okay.
And we were talking and stuff, and he had told me that he was supposed to like meet whoever, like the homeboys, that's what he said, over there. And I was like, you better be careful, just be careful. And he's like, I'm always careful. He always would tell me that, I'm always careful. And I'm like, okay. And he told me that after that, like, he's got to get that car back, and he said, or she'll start tripping on him. And I didn't ask, I didn't, question him or anything like that. And then I asked him how the kids were, and he said they're good. And he said, I get to see them a lot more. And I was like, that's good. And he told me that they would call, I guess, the girl he was with or whatever, Christina. And she gets mad about it. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, I laughed, like, okay, like, the kids are kids. And he was like, kind of brushing me off. And I was like, okay, well, he's like, well, I guess I better let you go. And I was like, how come? And he was just like, well, because I gotta get back too. And I was like, okay. So then, like, I drove him back over to that car that he was in. Mm-hmm. And then I kissed him and I told him that I loved him. And that was it. I drove off. I mean, I didn't like stay around or like see who's gonna go see him or anything like that, but that was it. That's the last time I seen him.
Do you see how important of a detail that is in this entire case, where I've been doing for 6 months trying to figure out who's with him, and you were there? You met him that morning. How did he contact you that morning?
Like we were, like I told you, my phone was messed up.
Yeah, so how did y'all talk to each other?
Like, through a phone. I mean, my phone was like messed up. Like the number, like, I don't know, it had like a glitch or something.
Okay.
But like we were on like a app or something like that.
Okay, so a talk to text app. It was on both of those phones?
I don't know.
Well, it had to be on your phone for you to talk to.
Yeah.
Right?
But we didn't talk. We just text. And then,
no, I mean, it's just a texting app that you have on your phone, so you could text. So you didn't normally like text like through your phone. You used an app. Am I correct?
Yeah. I mean, it just says, yeah, that's what it says, like a text app or whatever.
Like a text now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't.
And I mean, I even like, I sent him pictures, like we were talking and everything, and then like.
Are y'all planning on getting back together?
No, we just were cordial, like, I mean.
After spending almost 7 years dating Richard, Mollie was reportedly distraught about the breakup. A friend would later testify that Mollie would state he didn't care about her, he didn't love her, and she just didn't understand how someone could move on that quick.
We still care for each other, but like, not like, I don't know, I can't live a life with drugs and stuff, I can't do that. I mean, he would do that stuff around my granddaughter, and I couldn't. I mean, that's why I left. That's why I left, and I couldn't stay because it's too dangerous.
But obviously, you still cared for him. So
I mean, I do.
Yeah, you cared for him. You guys had a relationship.
I missed part of it. Let me try and catch up if you don't mind. This may be a good spot. So did you come up that morning to see him from Lubbock?
No, I had been...
Did you spend the night here with him?
No. I had been here to see my kids and my granddaughter for the weekend. Okay. And, like, we had talked the night before, and, like, I sent him pictures and stuff.
When you said pictures, like sexy pictures?
No.
Just pictures of the family, or?
No, just pictures of me.
Just pictures of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, like, it was crazy because, like, we hadn't been, like, connecting, I guess, if you will, for the months that he was hanging around with, like, Angel. Like, Angel took, like, everything from us to me.
Yeah.
I mean...
And so when you guys decided to meet up at the park, was it because it was a special day, or just it was his birthday, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah. We spent a lot of time at that park, like on the 4th of July.
Special spot for y'all. Yeah. Is that why y'all met there?
Did you bring him anything?
I brought him like Christmas candy and fruits, and then I got Bubba. That's his middle son. I got him a little t-shirt. And it's crazy because, like, I got him, like, that maroon shirt. And whenever I seen Richard, he had the same shirt on, like the same color. But
people told us that was his favorite color.
Yeah, that's what everybody told us.
I bought him that sweater.
And that was for his son? Okay.
But,
So, when you just because I'm sorry, I've been trying to keep up with them, but you left one car and went in your car. Was that the red car or was that your Trailblazer car?
my Trailblazer.
And that's where y'all had sex, and then you brought him back to the car that he arrived in. Okay. How much time did you spend in that car?
Maybe like 30 minutes
Okay. And he was, I guess, in the driver's seat. Where were you sitting?
in the passenger seat.
Did y'all have sex in that car again, or
No, we like
kissing or hugging or crying? And
kissing and hugging.
Okay.
There
It
wasn't
wasn't
any
sad.
crying.
wasn't sad.
Not at all. I'm afraid that, like, I've seen what Mark does to people, you know? We've been at bars and I've seen him beat people down, you know? I mean, everybody has, but they're not gonna tell you. You know, Angel, like, tried to fight Richard one time and, like, Mark tried to hit Richard one time at a bar, like with the shovel. I mean, right in the front, you know. And Richard was drunk, and I hate because Angel's no good. I know Richard's grown and everything, but he didn't have money. Richard did it, you know, and whatever he had, I gave it to him, you know, and he would, like, I think he would entice him with money, you know, and I don't know if Richard was doing those drugs or whatever, I don't know. I mean, I know that he was, like, whenever I wasn't at home, like, my pills would, like, come up missing, like, some of them, you know, and I know that he'd be putting them in there because I'd get home and I'd, like, see that powder, like, on my dresser. And I mean, my granddaughter, they moved out because of that. They moved out of the house and with their mother-in-law, my son's mother-in-law in Canyon, because of all that shit. But
so after you spend the 30 minutes in the car with him, tell me, start pick up there, because that's kind of, I think, when I kind of walked in. Tell me what happened.
I mean, he was just, like, rushing me off. He was just like, well, I guess you better go, you know. And he never let me, like, around that stuff, you know. Like, him and Angel would leave, and, like, he wouldn't tell me anywhere that he would go. Like, my friends would tell me, hey, did you see Richard on Facebook? Or did you see Richard on YouTube or whatever? I'm like, no.
How'd you feel when he kind of brushed you off? That make you a little mad? Hurt you a little bit? You had to. I mean, you made the special trip up, you had sex, got him a birthday present. I mean, you're a woman. I guess it didn't hurt my feelings. I just knew he was up to something, you know. And whatever it was, he didn't want me around it. How come you didn't tell us this before?
Because I was, like, scared. But I don't want to lie, and I want whoever did this, I want them to.
Yeah.
Almost.
It was dark?
Yeah.
Okay, she left before the sun come up?
No, I left whatever it was up already.
It was morning already?
Yes.
So how long, just your best guess, how long were you in the park out there?
For about 45 minutes.
Okay. And you said you came up to visit your boys and stuff. Who'd you stay the night with? Where'd you keep your clothes? Where did you do
my niece.
With your niece?
Yeah.
Okay. Can she confirm that? Will she confirm that?
Yeah.
What's your niece's name? From where?
From as soon as you come off, like, it's off the Canyon Way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Canyon Way 27.
Yeah, going towards downtown.
Okay. I'll see if I can find Alexander. If I print out a picture of the park, can you tell me where you guys were parked? Can you show me where you were parked at when you met him?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to tell you this, is the person that did this to him, they were angry. You know what I mean? They were angry. They were upset. So, and I think with you withholding that up until this point, it really
I'm scared.
Kind of hampers everything.
Are
you scared for yourself, or are you scared?
I'm scared
if somebody else, something's going to happen to somebody else.
I'm scared something's going to happen to me.
Okay. Why would you think that?
Because, like I said, Mark, he's scary, and like I said, I've seen him, and I see what he could do to people, and they were always talking about like the whole cartel thing or whatever. Whenever we were at the bar, and like I would hear them talk about all that like stuff that he would do to people, and I don't know, it just freaks me out.
I'm going to interject here. I've been doing this for a long time, 26 years now, and I've worked a lot of homicides, a lot of drug-related homicides, and nothing about this scene tells me it's a drug-related crime. Okay? First of all, there's no drugs, there's no money, there's no evidence of drugs. Richard didn't have any money. He wasn't making enough money to be cartel connected. He wasn't a big enough player.
He didn't have any money.
Yeah, and you told us that. So the cartel angle, and I'm not saying that he wasn't running with a rough crowd, because I believe you when you said he was running with rough people. But nothing about this killing screams drug connection to me. Mm-hmm. Okay. So what it screams to me is somebody that was very angry with him and probably didn't mean for this to happen, but it happened. And I have to be honest with you telling lies, and now you put yourself in the car very close to the time that he was assaulted.
I didn't get into that car. I was in my car.
You never sat in that car?
No.
So we're not going to find any DNA of you in the car that he was found in?
No.
Okay. I hope you're right.
So, we were in my car the whole time.
So let's go back in time a little bit here, because I know when we were standing on your front porch you did tell a couple fibs. So I want to clear them up here while we can. Okay, tell me the story about your gun.
There's nothing to tell. I told you the truth about that. I mean, he took it whenever we were at my club, and he was fighting with some guy, and he felt it right there, and then he asked if he could take it because he didn't have nothing on him, and I told him he could. I mean, I've given him all the guns that I've ever bought for him. So, I mean, I don't know. I trusted him.
You trusted him?
Trust him.
You trust him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, I know he wouldn't ever do anything to me.
Well, what would he need a gun at an after-hours club in a fight for? I mean, what do you think he was going to use it for?
Because, I mean, protection.
Well, he doesn't need protection. He's in the car with you with a gun. He doesn't need to go out into the parking lot with a gun.
He was in the car with me, yes, but then he got out and went back over where he was.
So he didn't need protection. He needed to go take a gun to collect his money, is what you told me.
Pretty much.
Right? So he doesn't need protection. He needs a gun to go rob somebody, collect a drug debt with a gun. Right?
Whether it's $5 or $50.
$5 or $50 is what I think the word you said. I'm getting my money. Because you tried to talk him into letting him go. Right? Mm-hmm. It's not worth it. Then he leaves your car with his gun to do what? Go get his money. Right? So why can't we just be honest about that? I mean,
I am being honest.
Let's be honest about everything here. Let's get it all out in the open.
That is it. Okay. I mean,
So you gave him a gun so he could collect a drug debt?
No, not that. Just to be safe, to where nobody would hurt him.
Where's that gun now?
I don't know where it's at.
Okay. That's a problem for you. Yeah. It really is. It really is, because it's convenient for that gun that you bought that we already know about, because we've talked to Lubbock, that you bought that gun, while you're down in Lubbock, and then you have a meeting with him, and then on the same day you have a meeting with him that he is murdered. Mm-hmm. And then you fibbed about it, and now I find out that you did know that the police were looking for you.
I didn't know they were looking for me.
Your friend that drove you here just told me.
I just now called last week. Well, I got the message last week. That's whatever, I told him. I said, They called.
Right. So
and
when
then,
we asked you if you knew before this week.
No, I didn't know before now.
So he's lying to me?
I told him last week that y'all had called.
Okay. And Jordan told you that we came out looking for you, right?
That's whenever I called you guys.
Okay. 6 months later.
No, Jordan never told me that back then.
Richard was killed 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
You just told me yourself you've driven past the billboard.
I did.
And you know that we're investigating the crime with no leads, right?
That's right. They had no leads. But you'll never guess how they found Mollie's gun in the lake. A woman was, out of all things, magnet fishing.
I've never even heard of that.
I don't have anything to do with this. Like, if you could just do my whole DNA thing, please, because I don't. And I didn't get in that copper car. Like, I stood up against it. That's all I did. And then we got in my car.
Okay. Well, it's not good that you admitted all that stuff, that you left all that out until now. You know what I mean? My deal is you think?
Mm-hmm.
Richard was killed with your gun, and I can prove that.
We found it.
We have it. So now it's time for the rest of the story to come out.
That's all that it was.
Mollie, I need the rest of the story.
That's all that I have. I can't tell you anything else.
Here's the deal. The story is eventually going to get there. Okay? At this point, you just know I need to help yourself and get the rest of it out.
That's all that I can tell you. That's it.
Where did you go after you had sex with Richard? Where'd you go?
Back to my niece's house.
In Lubbock?
No, here.
Here. And when did you go back to Lubbock?
That day.
That same day?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What time?
About 9.
9 a.m.?
Mm-hmm.
So if you left at 8:30 in the park, you went to your niece's house, then immediately went back to Lubbock?
Well, I had to get my things.
Half hour?
Yeah.
Not 8:30 at the park, then you're back on the road about 9. What time did you get to Lubbock?
About 11.
About 11, so it's a 2-hour drive. So
The detective is about to share some irrefutable evidence. It will be interesting to see how Mollie handles the next series of questions. This is because the killer made a drastic mistake and took Richard's phone with them.
So shortly after you leave the park, you go get your stuff. You didn't spend a long time. You didn't have breakfast. You didn't say bye to everybody. You grabbed your stuff and left.
My niece worked overnights.
Okay. My point is that within a short period of time of leaving the park, you got your stuff, went back to Lubbock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What road do you take to get to Lubbock?
Just the one that goes straight there.
The highway, I-27?
Yeah.
Yeah, I-27. Okay. The person who killed Richard and took his phone took the same route.
That's the only road I ever take.
You're not listening to me. The person that killed Richard and took his cell phone took the same route that you did. South out of town on I-27. Can you explain that?
No.
Okay. I believe that we can. You can stare at me all day long, so I'm going to change the facts.
You still want to show me on the map? If I print a map out, you want to show me where y'all were parked
Yes.
at? Okay.
Need some water?
After hitting Mollie with evidence that she didn't even attempt to refute, they step out of the room and discuss their strategy going forward. Mollie is clearly rattled. I'm sure she's probably thinking about an answer to the question that was just asked. Why did Richard's phone ping on the same route and along the same timeline as my trip home that day?
You said? Okay. Do you understand how bad this looks? I have the gun that killed Richard, and you bought it.
I didn't do that to him.
And you were at the park that morning. I just need you to be honest. I need you to tell everything.
I just did. That's all I have.
It's not going to go away. You understand that?
Yeah.
You know? You're being honest and truthful with me. You haven't lied to me at all. Okay.
That's it.
So, you're in the park, y'all meet up, you have sex, you bring him a birthday present,
It's just,
and you say you never got in that orange car at all, and y'all were only in the Trailblazer. Okay. So none of your DNA is going to be in that car.
no.
Okay. So like I said, whoever did this is really angry, Richard. Okay. This wasn't like a...
I don't have anything to be angry with him.
Did y'all get in a fight that morning?
No.
Did you argue that morning?
No, not at all. We're actually happy to see each other,
Mm-hmm.
but there was no fight or anything like that. No argument, anything. We were just talking about how we've been, and that's just said that we miss each other, and that's it. I mean, talked about his kids, talked about my boys, and that's it.
I'm not going to talk to any of her family or talk about any of this right now with them, or any of his family right now at all about this, okay? Because I just want you to be honest with me and tell me the truth. If y'all got in a fight, you got in an argument,
There
whatever
was no
happened, and
argument,
you
no.
had the gun or whatever and you shot him.
Nothing.
I need to know that.
Nothing.
But Molly, right now, is the way it looks with the gun that you bought in Lubbock that supposedly that he took from you was used to kill him. And then we find it. Yeah, I mean, I want you to step back, and I want you to look how this looks from the outside in. I want you to see this. If I put this before a district attorney, what do you think they're going to say? For 6 months, Richard's been dead. And this is the first time I've got to talk to you face to face. And be honest with me, you know I was probably wanting to talk to you. The first person we don't usually talk to is the person who's the spouse, you know, or the friend or the lover or whatever else, right?
It wasn't me. I mean, we had
But
not been together for like 2-3 months.
Okay.
But you had sex that morning. I mean, your DNA is going to be on his body, right?
Yeah. It's there.
You've got. I mean, why in 6 months you didn't call to explain that away? You know?
It takes us working through everything for me to finally track you down because you moved from place to place to place. Okay? I arrested Jordan in January. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you, I'm not stupid. I know he probably told you I talked about the case, and I talked about you, and then I needed to talk to you. Okay? Did you get angry and get upset and shoot him?
No.
Did you just...
I didn't do
You didn't mean for it to happen?
I didn't do anything to that man. We just talked and had sex.
You had sex?
Yes, but I mean...
Like I said, don't you think that's an important fact? Okay, this is kind of... You want to show me on here? Like you're going to show me where y'all were parked at?
I printed it both ways with the street map and with the it's the same map.
Take a look at that. It's kind of... I think there's a parking area like... Is there one right here? Or is that better on the other one? Oh yeah. This like... Because this would be a parking lot here. This is over by the lake, okay? This is the other parking lot on the other side. And this is the main lot when you come in. Because this will be north, like this. And you drive in, you go south, and there's a lot here where all the playground stuff is. Okay. Then there's the other lot here.
That's where we were, right there.
Y'all parked in there?
Mhm.
Okay. Would you do me a favor and circle that and initial that? Oh.
But whenever I like came over to where he was, is this where the water?
The water's right here, yes. The water's right there.
I think that's that whole.
Did y'all have sex in this parking lot?
Mm-mm. That's where like the little, is that a bridge, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little fishing dock or something right there walks out.
No, we were like, there was like cars here.
Uh-huh.
There's like two there and one there, and he was right here.
Okay.
And then I parked right there. And then we came over here.
And y'all went over there
Yeah.
and had sex in the Trailblazer.
Mm-hmm.
You gave him his present?
Yeah.
Did you drive him back over there, or did he walk back over there?
I drove him back over there.
Being honest with me, tell me everything that happened.
Yes.
I don't feel it.
That's
Because you understand, look at the outside end of this. You take this and plaster this whole case. I laid this out for a DA. What do you think is going to happen? I haven't talked to you the entire time. You admit to being there, and just admit that you were there when you first told me you were in Lubbock the entire time with a homicide, right?
I told you I was in Lubbock that day.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Would you not think that's an important fact also? That, yeah, I was in Amarillo. Okay. Did you shoot him? Did he piss you off?
No, he
Did he
didn't.
make you mad?
There's a possibility you were defending yourself.
Yeah. Maybe he was being aggressive with you.
Because what you're telling me is if you weren't defending yourself and it wasn't just a sudden passion thing, you carried a gun out there and murdered him. I mean, that's what the jury's going to believe, is that you just went out there and you're sitting here and you're continuing to lie because you've been lying to us all afternoon. And now we're going to have physical evidence that puts you at the scene with a person that you've got a domestic violence history on, and he's shot and killed with your gun that you bought in Lubbock while y'all are broken up, which means it had to get carried up to Amarillo. And then, I'll top it off with, his phone gets taken from the scene, and it's found along your route back to Lubbock. And you're going to be done. Because you can't explain it away as sudden passion. You can't explain it away as self-defense. This is just a cold-blooded killing. And all these cameras I pointed out to you are recording your dead-ass stare at me right now.
I don't know what you want me to tell you.
The truth.
It's all we want is the truth, Molly.
That's all we're asking you to do is tell the truth.
I didn't get mad at him. He didn't get mad at me. It wasn't nothing like that at all.
Then can you explain how he got murdered with your
No,
gun?
I can't.
At about the same time that you're having sex with him. When you're meeting him out at the park. Handing him his present. Luring him out to a spot where nobody else is going to be able to see. Because that's the story that the attorneys are going to tell to the jury. And then we're just going to have to say, we asked her about it, she lied. And then she lied some more, and then she lied some more. And it wasn't until we were fixing to take her DNA that she had to explain away why her DNA is going to be on his body. That she came clean on some of it. We put you at the scene with your gun, with the domestic violence history, and this case is done. Unless you explain it a different way.
That's all that I have.
Okay. All right, we're not going to press you anymore on it. That's your story. We'll let you stick to it. I'll send her in to get
We'll do the sample.
get your samples.
Yeah.
Okay. You sure you don't need more water?
Anything else I need to know before we do all this?
No.
Okay. You know, Molly, I'm going to put this together. Do you understand that? Okay. So if you have a change of heart, I want you to call me. And we talk.
Yes.
Okay? But I want you to look how this looks from the outside in. Okay? If there's something else I need to know, you please need to tell me. Okay? Okay. All done?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did you take your pictures too?
Yeah, she did
Okay.
everything.
Okay. Can you clear up just a few more things for me before you go?
I could try.
You good? Okay. You good on the water? Did you get some more? You good? Okay. But do you understand how this all looks, Molly? I just want you to understand where I'm coming from, okay? I got a family that's grieving for answers.
I understand, because whenever I go over there, it's horrible. I feel like I should go tell Felicia all this stuff.
I don't think you should.
I'm just saying.
You been honest with me? Did he make you mad, and did you get upset? Did you carry the gun out to the park?
I didn't even have anything, and I didn't get into that car.
Okay.
Got into my car.
Okay. So like I said, once again, I just want to clarify. No DNA in that car from you at all?
No.
Okay. And you're telling me that he was meeting with Angel and that
He said
Garza.
one of Angel and Mark's homeboys. That's all he said.
Oh, so it's one of their homeboys. It's not them.
Yeah, that's
Oh, I
what
thought
he
they were
said.
meeting with him.
No. He said one of Angel and Mark's homeboys.
And he didn't know who it was.
He didn't tell me. I don't know any of those people anyways. I know Mark Zamora. That's the one I know.
Okay.
Because Richard has a lot of friends. And I mean...
Hey, you know when remember we were talking about the gun? Remember we was asking about the bullets in it and stuff, and you said you didn't know the bullets? How did the bullets get in the gun when you bought it from the pawn shop? Because the bullets don't just... When you buy a gun, right, they don't put the bullets in for you.
Right.
So how did you get the bullets in the gun?
I didn't get them in there.
Well, how were the bullets put
They
in?
were in a box, and then they were in the... they were like in a box in the little case.
Okay.
With it.
Okay. How did the bullets get in the gun? Did you put all that together and load the gun?
I didn't put it in there, period.
So did you carry a gun around that wasn't loaded?
Yes.
Are you really telling me that?
Yes.
You carried a gun around that wasn't loaded?
Mm-hmm.
So Richard took an unloaded gun from you?
He had the whole case. It's just like a little soft case. He knows I don't mess with guns. Everybody that knows me knows I don't mess with guns.
Okay. Do I mean, once again, do you see how bizarre that sounds?
That I don't mess with guns?
No. That a person buys a gun for their safety. No, this is what you told me. I'm just repeating what you told me. If a person buys a gun for their own safety and they carry it around with no bullets in it, Molly, it doesn't make sense.
It's in a box, and it was in there, and I don't know. I'm scared of guns, period. Like I said, anybody that knows me, you could ask anybody. I don't mess with guns. I've never messed with guns, ever.
But yet you're able to go buy a gun.
I did.
Okay. So you obviously you're not that scared.
I mean, as in shooting and stuff like that, I'm scared.
Yeah.
I've always said I just don't want it to hit me in the face.
Yeah. Now your boys aren't afraid of guns. Because I've seen Jordan's Facebook. He's not afraid of a gun.
That's them.
He holds guns and takes pictures with them and everything else.
That's them.
Did he ever hold that gun and take a picture with it?
Did what?
Did Jordan ever hold that gun that you had and take a picture with it or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Did one of your boys go out and do this to Richard?
No.
Okay.
No.
I have to ask this thing. Do you understand?
Yeah. This is crazy. Like.
I
mean.
It is crazy. It is crazy, but if you look at the facts of the case, like I said, and that's what I always tell people, look at the way I look at it from the outside in, okay? And you look at everything that adds up, it all points to you.
Of course it does.
It does. And somebody tried to hide the gun, and we found it. And it connects to Richard's death.
Are my prints on there, though?
We found the gun that you owned. That's where I want your DNA. So
It's fine.
Okay?
You have it.
Yeah.
So whenever that comes back, I mean, what now? I mean, like, I don't know what's in your hands.
I know. And like I said, this is not going to go away. You understand that, right?
Yes.
You understand that. And here's what you need to do is not do anything crazy from this point. You know what I mean? As far as leave town, bail out, whatever.
I'm not going anywhere.
Do you understand that?
Not going anywhere.
And I just needed you to be honest with me about everything, okay? That's the reason I asked you about, well, did he make you mad? Was he trying to assault you afterwards or whatever else, okay?
No.
And you were using it to protect yourself?
Nothing.
Okay.
Like, no.
Did you want him dead?
Never.
What'd you guys break up about? What was it? Was it not that he wasn't working? Because you talked about a lot of girls.
That was after we broke up. I mean, like...
Oh, so he started seeing the girls after you guys broke up.
Yeah.
He likes girls. I mean, according, I've read all his Facebook stuff. He does like talking to the girls.
Well, I'm sure.
So... Well, who else would want to kill him?
I can't answer that. I don't know. I mean, if you say that you looked at his Facebook, like, you looked at mine too, right? And what do you find? Boring.
Well, I didn't do a warrant on your Facebook. I did a warrant on his Facebook to see who I was talking to people. Okay, I mean, we do our homework. You understand that? We got to. I mean, murder is the number one sin, the number one law of the land. Okay, and we got to investigate it all the way. Mm-hmm. And that's what we got to do. I got to look at everything. I got to look at all the records. I got to look at everything. And so that's what I do. And that's what we all do in here, okay? So, but I'm saying I lay this case out. It doesn't look good for you at all.
I don't know what...
But give me something to get me past that. What can you do to get me past that?
I can't get you past anything. I mean, this is what happened. This is... I mean... What would I get from this, honestly? And why would I? I have nothing. We broke up. I'm the one that left him. I mean, I could see if he left me, but I left him. So, I mean, it doesn't make any sense if you look at it like that. Like, why? I
don't know. I'm asking you why. That's my thing. I don't know. There's only two people that know.
I don't have anything else. I mean, I told you everything, what happened with us. And, I mean, he was in my car.
Okay. Do you ever use fake fingernails?
Do I use fake fingernails?
Do you ever use fake fingernails?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Okay. Any questions for me?
No.
Do you wonder what's going to happen? Are you afraid of what's going to happen?
Of course I'm afraid of what's going to happen.
Yeah. This is why I suggest you don't go over and talk to Felicia. You told me how they are, that family is. Right?
You don't know how they are?
Oh, I know how they are. I know how they are.
I mean, you haven't seen their police records?
I've seen everybody's police records involved. I know. And I've seen your stuff too, okay? I've seen everything. I've looked at everybody's stuff.
A reason that really, like, made me nervous about telling everything, because...
But...
I didn't...
For me to have to go find you. You understand where I'm going on this? And for me to have to come find you, it just doesn't look good. And then when I start getting this other evidence...
But I didn't run. I mean, I'm saying, like, if you... were to, I mean, like, you say you investigate, right? Mm-hmm. Then you know where I work. If you were to go to my job, what am I going to do?
I was going to go to your job next if you didn't come see me today. Well, you knew I was going to do that, right?
I didn't know. Yeah. I'm not the investigator, you are.
Okay.
And I'm saying this, like, I haven't ran from anybody. I'm, like, here,
Okay. Okay.
And nobody... my son, he honestly didn't say, well, Mom, they want to talk to you. He just told me that you were doing the same thing you did to him, like you're doing to me, and you, like, put, like, Richard pictures in front of him and stuff like that, and, like, he told me, and I'm just like, I'm not worried because I know I didn't do anything. And then I was like, well, what am I going to do? Mr. Officer, we had sex. Like, what am...
You just got to be honest. That's all we're asking for here.
Honesty's gonna get me screwed anyways. That's what I'm afraid of. Look what me telling the truth about my son got me. 10 years. Excuse me, but 10 years. I didn't do that to him. I did not do my son like that. I was working for the state of Texas. Come on.
And I saw you did your probation and you were done.
I was
did.
awesome.
Did I just admit that? I saw you did your probation, you did everything
Yes.
fine, okay?
Yes. I never came out with no dirty UA or nothing like that. I never ran. I never didn't report. I mean, it scares the heck out of me because I got screwed then too. And then telling the truth and everything never gets me anywhere, you know, but I cannot not tell the truth because I didn't do this and everything looks screwed that y'all just now told me and everything, but I'm not running. I'm not gonna run.
Okay.
It never works ever. I mean, I just wanted to see him. I didn't hurt him. I didn't take no gun. I didn't do any of that stuff.
Did he have that gun that morning?
I didn't check him out. I mean, he got out of
We all had sex, so I didn't know if he got undressed or.
He never gets undressed.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in your car. Okay. I don't know what's going on there. So I'm just asking, if he got undressed and the gun falls out on the floor, does it do something like that?
No, I don't feel so great with you guys. I mean, it's never worked out.
Molly, I haven't been mean to you. I've been talking to you.
Sarcastic, but no, you haven't.
I've been a little sarcastic, okay? But I have to do my job, and you understand that, okay? I wasn't mean to Jordan. I had to talk to him. I had to talk to him because of what had taken place. Okay?
But I know how, like you say, that all this stuff looks or whatever, but like, what do y'all think that, like, I would do something like this for?
Well, I don't know what you would do it for, but I'm just saying the
y'all are
physical
the
evidence.
investigators.
Yeah.
Why are y'all thinking I did this?
I think you were upset.
About
I think
what?
something caused you to be upset or something.
About what though?
I mean, that's what I'm trying to get to. What caused it, was it the breakup? Were y'all going to get back together? Were you going to try to work things out? Was there other girls in the way? Was he dating this other girl that you didn't like her? Maybe you guys were going to get back together?
I don't even know any of these girls. Don't know any of them.
Okay.
I mean, Felicia's the one that tells me about that kind of crap and his brothers, and I mean, what can you do,
I don't know. What can you do? You just got to deal with it and move on.
Exactly.
So, I just want to make sure you're 100% totally honest with me today. Since we got in this room, I think we've got a lot more honest. Okay.
What do I do now? I mean,
whatever you want to do.
I mean,
whatever you want to do. You can sit here and talk to me for 35 minutes.
I have to
We
be
can talk
at work.
more. You working nights?
No, I work whatever they tell me.
See, what time are you going to be at work?
3.
Why didn't you tell me that? We could have worked through this. It's 3:15.
Oh my gosh. I'm pretty sure I'm in trouble.
Molly, let me ask one more time. Did you kill Richard?
No.
Okay. Do you know who killed Richard?
No. It wasn't me or my kids, though. I know that much.
Okay. Do you know who did?
I know that my son told me that,
Jordan? What did he tell you?
just like the pictures. Everybody knows that he could, like, he could fight, and it's just how my son described, like, those pictures. He just said he looked like he had gotten into a fight.
Well, I think whoever shot him got the drop on him. I think he was relaxed. I don't think he felt the fear. You know what I mean? I don't think he felt the threat. Do you understand where I'm going with that? He's relaxed. Did you ever get in that orange car? Did you know I'm going to find out? I just I'm just making sure everything. We got all the honesty out right now.
I mean, I like stood up against it, and like he had showed me the like radio, like it was a XM radio or whatever, and that was it.
I'm old, I gotta write stuff down. He leaned up against what side of the car, you remember?
Ooh, he had opened his the passenger side for me, and I like leaned in because he was showing me like the screen or whatever. He was just like, "See, that's the kind of radio I wanted."
Was he sitting in the driver's side?
No, he was right beside me. I mean, I leaned in and looked, and that was it. Like, we didn't have sex in that car or anything, if that's what you're asking.
That's what I'm asking.
No.
Okay.
We didn't have sex in that car.
Anything else I need to know? Okay. I missed a phone call real fast, but I want you to hang tight, and I want to get you out of here. Okay? I missed a phone call.
So, Mollie would end up on trial for the murder of Richard Garza. Her story, however, would drastically change in the face of all the evidence. They found a broken acrylic nail with her DNA inside the vehicle, so there went that lie. She would claim that Garza became violent that day. She said her friend, a man named Jesse, came to her aid and shot Garza using her gun while defending her. And what do you know? The state played this interview, and now good golly Miss Mollie is spending the next 60 years behind bars. So you tell me what you think about the video. Hopefully the audio is improving. If not, leave me a suggestion or two. I'm glad you joined me again. Till next time.